Hope. Because I'm using my Mac, which is the OBS. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let me check out. Let's see my channel. Probably hasn't even started streaming yet. How to draw comics like a pro workshop. Hey, all right, it's working. All right, so I'll have to just kind of keep it like that for now. Actually, I can probably squeeze me down a little bit more in the corner. Here. Transition that. There. Now I don't take up that much space. You can see all the ins and outs of what I'm doing underneath. What's up, Uriah, Andrew, howdy, all, Gus, Rodwell. Pop out chat so I can see what you guys are saying over here. So I'm doing this on my Mac because I cannot seem to get Photoshop to run correctly on my PC. So we were going to start today with brush. How to draw comics like a pro workshop. It seems to me, I did do a couple of how-to videos in the past where I was doing, I was kind of starting with the basics, right? Starting with the figure, starting with the gesture drawing and whatnot. And I'll have this on the playlist along with this episode. But please do like and share this video. Please, if you have any artists that want to learn how to draw and whatnot, please do like and share if you would. Thank you very much. Before I buy the others, I want to confirm, is Elliot's the 1st Brigade MH cover? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Title grabbed your attention because I'm unconventional. How to draw comics like a pro workshop. All right, so this, unlike other how to draw comics videos out there in YouTube land, we are going to have feedback. This, as I'm doing this as a live video, I'm going to be able to get information from my audience here, and so we'll just start right on in because there's a couple different ways. We're going to start with heads here today. On with the show, exactly. We're going to start with heads. I'm going to do... Here, where's my Bridgman book? Micah, where's my Bridgman book?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. I have my son Isaac using my Bridgman book to study from. So I was going to do sort of a comparative between Loomis and Bridgman. But instead, why don't we just do how Mike would draw heads and whatnot. So let's see. If we're doing straight on, ooh, my Mac is slow. Slow Mac, not good. Ugh. Killing me. See, I'm trying to do this with the Mac. Alright. Simple bisecting. Oh, look, it's a cross with the sunset behind it. The draw a full circle, bisect it. If you're doing a straight on headshot, right? Bisect this area here as well. And this becomes, and then bisect this area here, right? This, and then chop off a third, less than a third, maybe between a third and a fourth off each side on the head. And that gives you the basic shape for the top of the head. This here is your center line. This is where your eyes will be. This is bisected 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your eyes should be, some eyes are bigger, some eyes are littler. Some eyes are more far apart, some eyes are closer together. But this is sort of just a standardized way to draw a standard human head. So eyes would be here. This line here is the top of your nose. The nose comes down. It is the flares of the nose are here, usually even with the inside set of the eye. So you go here, and then the top of the bulb of the nostril is here. And again, every face is different. Some faces, these shapes are a little longer, a little shorter, a little fatter, a little thinner. You build out the bridge of the nose there. And then from here, where the eye line is, to here, you go about the same length down to the bottom here, across to the bottom. And that's your chin area. Then you can sweep in from this point here. I shouldn't be doing X's. You can bring in your cheekbone towards, like, see the center of the eye here? Comes down. That's sort of where your chin is. And again, this is all sort of standardized drawing, right? Standardized spacing. The mouth is where the bottom of the circle is. Lower lip comes down a little before that, and then you have a chin. Now this fella seems like he has an awfully big chin, so we can change it, shape it. If you want to bring his jaw straight down, it's going to give him sort of a blocky, masculine, you know, I don't want to say hulkish, but sort of a manly, high T. He's high T, this fella. He's high T because he's got that big square jaw. And then ears, see this top line where you bisected the middle? This is where your eyebrows set. So you set your eyebrows here. And this line also becomes, again, standardized, the tip of the ear. The bottom of the ear lines up with the nose, the bottom of the nose. So you have your ear here, and then your ear here. And that is the basic layout of the human head. Again, you know, some people have nose, the distance between your nose and your lips is closer. The difference, you have a small jaw or you have thinner jawline, you know, like this. Women's jawlines are obviously not so pronounced. Do you want me to let's turn this into a chick. All right, so we're gonna bring her jawline up a bit. This is the wrong size eraser. All right, let's bring her jawline up a bit. Feminize the jawline. The ears don't have to be quite that pronounced either. Let's see. What would I want to do here? I would want to actually give her softer, bigger lips. Big lips are more feminine. Sorry to those who don't have big lips, and sorry to guys who do, like me. Ideally, taper the nose in and make the nostrils not quite so prominent. The thing about women is you don't want to, unless they're older ladies, you don't want to add a whole bunch of lines all over the place, right? And actually, women look a little better if their eyes are set a little further apart than men's. And then obviously you thicken and give them the thicker lashes. It's funny, in comics, men, generally speaking, don't even have eyelashes. And then you want to reshape the eyebrows, because young girls can have big, thick eyebrows, generally speaking. And actually, I like girls with big, thick eyebrows. Not ridiculously thick eyebrows, like, you know, you look like the Grouch. But, you know, just a little feminizing on the lines, and obviously I think these cheeks need to be a little higher. I probably would thin this jaw up even more here. Yeah, that's better. So, I'm not saying to draw a woman that you should start with the drawing of a man. I'm just sort of showing you the differences between the male and the female. And then obviously you can and obviously women have much thinner necks. And you do want to get rid of all the extraneous lines because, like I was saying, extraneous lines on a woman's face just age her. Actually, same thing with the dudes. A general rule of thumb is every line on the face adds 5 years to the age of the character. So, alright. That is the head from the front. We can take, let's see, any questions? Bert and Ernie eyebrows. We could just give her unibrow. That'd be fun. No Adam's apple, please. No. Next time, draw something easier for us newbies, like a single-celled organism. ContraPoints, shudders. All right, any questions from the peanut gallery? Stop training people to steal your job. I want everyone to get better at everything they try to do. That looks awful, Mike. Thank you, Rodwell Stevens. I appreciate your encouraging words. Thanks. Now on with the show. Starting with heads, or is this a page or a pinup or a cover piece? No. This is a how-to draw session. This is not going to be me just drawing stuff. Who appear when I'm drawing every time? Thanks for the Twitter like on my Joker colors. You're welcome, Captain. The hairline covers part of the forehead. Yeah, I didn't do the hairline.
The first attack is 500 strength.
Alright, so nobody seems to have any questions, so let me move this over.
Silas, right here.
And then we'll start the profile view of the lady.
Attack that doesn't cost anything. It's this one.
Let me do a new layer on here just so I can. So I'm going to take these construction lines we already did. I'm going to bring them over here to the side. Tip of the nose, mouth, jawline, top of the head. And then I'm going to minimize those so you can't see them that great. Start another layer. And what I should do... Gosh, I hate trying to... whatever. I'll just do it. I'll do it by hand. Hey, Micah? I'm live streaming. Oh. Layer 2? Wait, what am I on? Okay. For younger people, would you recommend art school or would you consider that pointless? I think you could probably learn about as much stuff on YouTube nowadays as you could learn at art school. Difference is art school kind of sits you down and makes you do it. If your kid doesn't have the discipline to sit down and try to learn the stuff on his own or her own, then yeah, maybe art school. All right, so again, this is the line where the ear comes in. I always tend to start on the side with the ears. I don't know why. And then the bottom line comes here, or roughly thereabouts. I'll get into the specifics of the ear on some other show, or maybe later on this one. From the brow back to the cheekbone, this creates a plane of the face here that aligns with the top of the cheekbone, the occipital lobe. Depending on the person, the you know, some people, their noses almost come right out from their foreheads. Some people, they have deep set foreheads where their nose comes out within here. I'm just going to kind of do something soft and sort of minimal because it's a lady. So I'm going to actually slope in the forehead, sort of round and soft shapes. That's feminine shapes, round and soft, round and soft. And no, it does not look like my wife, so shut up. Instead of art school, just send Mike Miller super chats. That would be great. I will answer all your super chatted questions. Microcephalics, as John Malin. No, John. I don't do that. Generally speaking. All right. So for the female, the jaw is not too pronounced on the outset, so you kind of want to follow a slope here, right? Like a man, you might want the jawline to come all the way out where the forehead is. Bam, big jaw, you know, like, well, that looks like Popeye, but, you know, tough Batman kind of whatever. But for females, you want to have a more delicate jawline, so you follow sort of a line here where the upper lip, okay, here's the middle of the lips, right? The upper lip comes out to the top of this line, the lower lip sort of hits the same line here, and then the chin follows slightly in here, and then does a soft, I mean, some girls have angular chins, but I like a soft flowing, you know, like I said, soft round lines. Soft and round is the feminine ideal. So then the eye sets within this socket area here. The eyelid comes out farther than the eyeball here. And then the rest of the flesh above the eye here. So that gives you a basic soft understanding of the female from the side. Obviously, she's not the most attractive woman, but what are you going to do? Alright, and then again, hair. And, gosh, this... Can you guys see how much this is lagging when I throw a line down? Look at this. Line! Like a second later it shows up. Ugh. This is why I draw on pencil. I mean, draw on paper. Alright, so there it is. Girl. Give her a nose job. Give her a nose job. Alright, so this one wants a nose job. I would probably tuck it up a little bit. I'll give her some lip injections. Powder up a little bit. Then obviously give her some false eyelashes.
No, I'm not. I know what you're talking
Make those eyebrows on fleek. Clean it up. Oops.
Sweet. What's this guy saying?
A little better. What table you use? What? Tablet? I'm using a Wacom Intuos 3. It's an old piece of crap. Mike, when you draw your comic with many characters, do you have reference of the characters from all angles? How do you keep them looking consistent from panel page to page? Well, yeah, you should have an idea of what each character looks like. I find, generally speaking, like when I draw guys, it's the nose is the most prominently different thing about the way I draw different guys. So, like, well, I mean, do I have to really go any further into that? Drawing someone with a different nose can give... I mean, like, look, if I drew this chick with the I drew this chick with sort of a Roman nose here.
It's just on the
You know, it just makes her look like a totally different person.
How much strength do you
Right?
have?
Or I can draw her with a, let's see. A nose can change so much about a person. Draw her with like a little pug nose. Right? Totally different person. Do I use photo reference ever? Occasionally. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, use photo reference. If you don't know what something looks like, use photo reference. Always, always, always. For example, the Monster Hunt cover, there are so many characters. Well, yeah, I was referencing each individual character from the books they were from. From the books. Yeah. Anything else? Draw an EVS nose on her? That's mean. But I will. Let's see. EVS's nose comes out, down, then to a little point there.
Now I can.
There you go. Mike, this is the real deal. You are an expert on the nipple question. What? It's perfect. All right, she looks like a duck now. You guys. All right, let's see. What shall I move on to next? This isn't. I didn't intend this to only be a few minutes long, but do you guys have any specifics on head architecture? I can do. Yeah, let's just do another layer here. Fill it with white. Bing. Is it easy or hard to change facial features to make one person look different from another? No, it shouldn't be. I mean, like I said, we have a standardized ideal of what people look like. I'll draw something on form. We have a standardized ideal, and everyone's face sort of just deviates from the ideal. I have a rounder head, right? Some people. So you have different shaped heads. You have people with long, thin heads, right? You have people like me with sort of rounder. Oh my gosh, I think I'm chunking up my. Right, that's more the shape of my head. EVS has something like a pear. I'm just kidding. People have different shaped heads. Girls can have a very they have heart-shaped heads. They have there's so many different shapes, but they all deviate from the norm or from a standardized set, right? Hair and cloth, Mike. You want me to jump from doing faces to doing hair and cloth? That's kind of a big leap. Facial expressions. All right. Let's do some facial expressions. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna reuse this. So I'm just gonna merge these out because I don't want to suck up too much memory on my computer. Facial expressions. So, let's see. I suppose it would help to use black. If I'm doing... Oh, you know what? I should be doing like 3/4 views and stuff. No? Down shots. So, alright. Just some basics here. If you're drawing and you want heads to go in different directions, you have to think of it as a globe, and you have a vertical and horizontal axis, and wherever the front of that line... Oops. This is like, front of the face, back of the face. This is that bisecting line that gives you where you begin from. You chop the sides off. This gives you that, because a head is not a perfectly round circular object, except in my case. This is the eyebrow or the brow. And again, you think back. This area has to, once again, get bisected through this line. And this is still, remember the oval from the previous one? This is still where your ear goes. I'm just going to do this very rough because I'm just trying to give you a better idea. And then this indentation here that goes from the temple. This gives you your temple plane to your cheek plane. And then this line, rather than just being a straight line when you're looking straight at it, it curves with the convexture of the actual sphere, right? And then you have that lower convex line here, which again is where you build the nose. The top of the nose starts at that line, basically. And let's do the EVS nose again. I like drawing EVS's nose. It's got a lot of character.
Use the whipping cap.
And then you bring in the cheekbones. Now, this is in a gaunt person. A gaunt person would have those cheekbones pronounced. In a heavy-set person, those cheekbones, they're still there, right? But then the jowls will come down beneath the cheek. And the jowls will come down here, set down. Once again, the lip come down here. You might have a beard or facial hair. Sort of a shorter lower lip. But how easy is it for just a simple face shape, right? Shape and a little bit of and an accurate nose. Semi-accurate. It's not perfectly accurate. Before you can get a likeness of somebody. It's not a great likeness, but whatever. I never drew AVS before. And then here, give him that curly Q hair on top he's got. And so yeah, different angles, different I could do an upward shot. Let's see. If we're starting at another, and we're looking up, right? Again, you have to bisect, right? You're looking through a beach ball. And then you're cutting off the sides, bisecting here again, bisecting here again. Again, the brow line, the inset line, the cheek line, and then this line follows down. And again, if you're a male, comes down straight. Give him a good solid jaw. And then the bridge of the nose comes in from this bisecting point, comes out. The top of the nostrils again start at this line here. Here we are. And then the lip, because we are coming from an upward angle, the upper lip will obviously seem shorter, right? But we will see more of it. And then the lower lip will seem flatter because of the angle we're looking up at that section. And then I think I have the jawline a little too high here. I mean a little too low. All right, we bisect here, put the ear here in this third or this quarter down here, this lower right-hand quadrant, and that's where your jawline drops from, comes forward. Adam's apple. And again, the eye line comes up here, follows this line, and then follows this line. You see this line coming in here for the like I said, to give the temple plane. This is the temple plane here. This is the cheek plane, and then down here. This also has to fall into this line. So you fall this way, and that is where you set your eye.
Remember the giant clumps of giant?
And likewise on the other side, if you can see it past the nose. And then again, eyebrows. And spiky hair. There you go.
That's pretty lucky.
So that's a basic build. What else should I go to? I did an upshot, a downshot, 3/4 views. Are you doing an Elliot piece? What do you mean? Soy hair. Hairist. I'm a hairist. Soy hair. So expressions. I guess we can go to expressions. Deselect. So, all right. I'm just going to start with the face itself instead of everything. So obviously, anger is the easiest expression. You obviously start with the eyebrows because the eyebrows make you angry. Everything pinches here, right? When you're mad, everything pinches here. All of your face scrunches here. Your eyes, your crow's feet scrunch towards here. Everything scrunches here. When you're angry, it's just ah. And then what's fun to do in anger is just have your eyes bugging out. Even your nose scrunches here. And sorry, I'm not building all my construction lines around it, and then your face. You see what I'm saying? Everything points here. Your face, your gritting teeth, the lines on your face just bunch up, scrunch up. I'm not saying to just draw eyes and just do this. This isn't not anger. But it's a sort of a generalized truth. And that's what drawing is a lot, is generalizing truths about things you see. Because you're not going to draw every nose hair and every feature, but all right. All right, so anger. That's Mark Wade. You never noticed that? Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, but it is pretty, like I was saying, generalizing things. It's learning shorthand. It's learning shorthand. And the thing is, you don't just accept my shorthand. Come up with your own shorthand. But this is basically, that's basically anger. Although you can do it in so many different ways.
Which one?
You could do like shocked. See, it's funny when I think of doing this stuff, I always think of like eyebrows first. Eyebrows are so expressive, but you want to do shocked. It's like you have to see the top of the eye, the top of the white of the eye, right? And then the pupil, just undilated, just point of light or a point of darkness. Let's see. Or you can just do the legit, like, whoa.
271. 71. Yours was like 283.
And then you got to kind of crinkle up the brow above. Sorry, I'm doing this very shorthand because I'm just kind of trying to get through expressions. I'm not doing
271.
perfect things. How to draw hands. Okay, I'm just focusing on the face for today's show. And what are we at? 35 minutes in. And I don't want to make these shows ridiculously long. Could I draw a scar on him? Sure. There. He's got a scar. This is a good idea, Mike. Thanks. Oh, thank you. This is Mark Wade. Can I hear this drawing shouting, "Fix it! Fix it now!" How to draw better than Marvel. Loomis heads. Yeah, I don't know where my Loomis book is. So, I do basically use Loomis styling for the way I do heads, except for the particulars of the structure of the nose, the structure of the eye, the structure of the mouth and stuff. I do rely more structurally on Bridgman than I do on Loomis. But, you know, hey, we stand on the shoulders of giants. All these guys have already figured all this stuff long before I was born. And so we should not try to reinvent the wheel. Go check out the different artists. Loomis, Bridgman, Vanderpool. Even if you like, who's that? Byrne, Hogarth. I hate that. That guy's stuff's terrible. But hey, some people like it. So check it out. If you do like it, take things from them. They have their own particular styles, their own particular, quirks, shortcuts, however you want to call it, and build off of them. They have to be the firm foundation artistically, you know. So yeah. Anyways, can you draw feet with your foot? Yes, I have done that. Jim Lee has good video on hands. Well, go watch Jim Lee then. I've never been a fan of Jim's hands, though. I don't like the way Jim draws hands. I don't like the way Jim draws chests, or feet. I don't know. Jim's. It's all stylistic. It's all stylistic choices. I think Jim is very stylized. I try to be less stylistic, but again, that's a choice. People like very stylistic artwork, love Jim's stuff. I used to love Jim's stuff. It's just not what I aim towards anymore. That was in my youths. You know, John Byrne used to be my favorite. He's very stylized, and I don't take that away from him. I don't take Jim being a great artist away from him either. That's not my point. You can do a video on face shading. Well, you know I don't spot blacks. Alright, let me shade this face. So, say we have a light coming from the back, right? Which creates a backlight. Say it's coming from over here. You want to think of where this is going to be dark and where this is going to be light, but it is coming from this side. And then we are going to have another light that comes from the other side as well. But we want to get the shading in on this side. And then we have a light that comes in from this side, and this creates a coarse shadow here. So the forehead is sort of bulbous. It is a flat plane, but it is still a convex plane. It is not. It's not like a piece of cardboard or something. This light is still casting a rim light on the side of the nose, so it would cast another slight coarse shadow here. This light here isn't affecting this side of the face, so any shading here would be coming from, say, the brow, right? The brow would be dropping some shade here. It would be dropping shade under the eye because of the skin under the eye is shaping to the eyeball itself. This brow would be casting a cast shadow here, right? The nose too will be throwing a cast shadow here, which would end here because you are getting the bounce light here.
Did you change your core? What is it?
And then this would also be casting the shadow from the indenture of the lip and the crease of the cheek to the nose here. So, and this little divot inside of the lip here would also be shaded. The bottom of this lip would be shaded. A cigarette would be casting shadow here. The lower lip would cause a deep shadow here. And then the chin. And obviously the chin, the actual chin. I don't know what this is called here. It's part of the mouth musculature. You would shade here. And then you would do a light shading. Because the light is up here, you would shade the cheek very lightly. Not overdone. And then also the jawline. Here. Might throw a little cross hatching this way. So that would be about how I would shade that head from that standpoint. Mike, your drawings seem less stylistic and more realistic. Did you have to study a lot of anatomy and figures? Yes. Yes. That is, that's how you get better. That's how you get better. You want to learn from reality. If you want to be a stylistic artist. So I was having this conversation with my daughter last night with J.C. Leyendecker, who is one of the preeminent illustrators of the 20th century. Phenomenal grasp of form, structure, shading, painting, everything. But he chose a very stylistic approach to painting, and I mean, I love it. You can see guys like Brian Stelfreeze or even Adam Hughes, Dave Johnson. You see a lot of these guys using Leyendecker isms in their work. And, you know, it's what gave Gaijin Studios sort of a house style, right? They all loved Leyendecker, and I do too. But, yeah, my point is you study the reality. You study the reality in order to develop your own stylistic interpretation of reality. Don't learn to draw. This is going to sound hypocritical since it's how to draw comics like a pro. Don't learn to draw comics from comics. Right? Learn to draw comics. Learn to draw from reality and interlace comic styling into your illustrations. And that will give you not only a better grasp of form and structure and just life drawing, exactly, even on FrontScriber, stuff like that, but it'll give you a unique flavor, a unique style because you don't want to just come in being, I'm the next Joe Madureira, or, you know, I'm the next Ethan Von Scriver. Scriver. Evan, you're messing me up with your name. Or, you know, I'm the next Rob Liefeld, or I'm the next anybody. You want to be yourself, but you want your influences that you've gathered over the years to just add like spice and flavor, right? You want to be the meat. and the styles of the other artists that you love, you just want those to be spices on your meat. But you still want it to taste like a steak. You don't want it to taste like a carbon copy of somebody else's work. Especially in our community, where, you know, here's the problem with like Marvel and DC and stuff is they don't know what's necessarily good, but they knew what's sold. So they saw, oh, Joe Madureira is selling like hotcakes. Let's hire Roger Cruz. Because it's not that Roger Cruz wasn't good, it's just they were trying to sell Joe Madureira light on another book because Joe Madureira sells. But that wasn't a good way to actively go out and find new, unique talents. That was just a bunch of editors being too freaking stupid to realize what good, real talent was about. So they would just say, oh, well, this guy looks like Madureira. This guy looks like Jim Lee. This guy looks like Rob Liefeld. This guy looks like Todd McFarlane. And they would just hire people based on that, whether they were good or not, right? If they could get away with looking enough stylistically like another person, it didn't matter if they knew form and structure and anatomy and storytelling and all that stuff, because editors didn't know any better. But we have the opportunity here where we support awesome talent regardless of who they look. Alejandro Mirabal, oh my goodness. I don't even know where he got that style from, but it is so gorgeous. I love it. But he probably would never have gotten hired at Marvel DC because he doesn't look like anybody. Right? So funny. I like Frank Miller's style. I used to be. There's a vast difference between being hypocritical and just oxymoronic. Like, oh, thank you, Justin. TR French for $10 says, I want more of this. Well, you keep those super chats coming, and I will keep the How to Draw Comics Like a Pro workshops coming. Rock and roll. All right. There's something else I can draw here. I think we got a little bit of time left. What do we got? We got about 13 minutes left. I'm going to keep these to about an hour. So, yeah, let me know. Let me know. What else can I do? It's got to be head related. When are the CSI art lessons? What? I don't understand. Line weights. Cal Art. Oh, Cal Art lessons? I'm not doing that. Line weight. All right. So, someone is asking about line weight. Deselect. The concept of line weight. So, say I'm drawing... Why didn't I just do it on that? All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ink. Wow. Stupid Mac is too slow. Alright, deselect. I'm going to X. How to draw Joker. Joker's chin is not common. It's just long. Alright. Alright. I'm going to ink this for you. Line weight. This is about line weight. I'm going to do actual size. Alright. So when you're inking and you're considering line weight, you're considering, think of them sort of as gravity lines, right? So you're doing your thinner lines where the light is richest or the light is brightest. And then you thicken it up, like on the bottom side here, because it gives sort of a a suggested shadow to the line, right? Which gives the form itself a little more shape. Like if you're drawing a circle, and you just draw a circle, it's sort of just dead there. But if you draw a circle and you thicken the line on the bottom and then thin it up back up, it gives it, even though it's just a circle still, it almost gives it a three-dimensional shape, like it's got its own shadow. The weight gives it a feel of gravity. Same thing here. So thin the line here, thicken it here. Although I know that doesn't make sense with what I was saying about the light. But like on this side, you can do the line much thicker because there's no direct light here, right? Ugh. It's hard to do this on this computer like this. But then thin, thick, thin, little thick. This computer sucks. Thin that up a little bit at the point, and then thicken it up a little down here as well. So I think the way Art T. Bear used to do things, it gives it a little. Let me just over exaggerate here. He would do things like sort of clunky, and it really gave you a sense of the idea of line weight, even though it seemed over exaggerated. So he would do something, he'd do something thin, and then bam, big thick line, and then thin, and then bam, thick line. And actually, Dan Panosian used to do this more than Art, probably, although Dan probably stole it from Art. And then a big thick line here, right? Now I am over exaggerating, like I said. Thick line, thin line. But yeah, I mean, that's about, you take that basic concept, right? And then you can play with it. Like I would obviously do this more personally. I would do, I would do like one smooth line, or I'd thicken it up a little bit, thin it up, thicken it up, thin it up, like that. That's how I do lines, except I hate doing it on computer. But that's how I would do line weight. Very smooth variations. But what you don't do, and you see this, I don't know. Okay, I can't tell you not to do this because people do this. It's their choice, but it doesn't make sense. It's very stylistic, and it's counterintuitive to what line weight is. Some people will go ahead and do like big, thick line weights on the protrusions, right? Thin it up, then thicken it up on the cheek, like that. And then thin it up, and then thicken it. And it may look good to individuals. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is counterintuitive to what line weight was sort of about, or what it's meant for. So I hope that makes sense to you. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. Where are we at now? Well, we got 7 minutes left. Any other questions from the Peanut Gallery? Let's see. Art of Comic Inking by Gary Martin is a good book. It is indeed a good book. Yeah, if you want to learn how to ink, I'll do some inking videos, but they won't be like this on my Mac, because this is just like me trying to show you guys how to do some basic construction stuff. Cleft chins. You want me to how to draw cleft chins? Whoopsie. Oopsie. Oh, why is that locked now? Alright, I'll do it here. Panosian is overrated. Dan's a really good artist.
Can you talk to him yet outside of this?
I have not given him a rating, however.
The supervillain?
Cleft chin? You mean like the dimple chin? Or you mean like... See, that's the thing with the cleft chin, is there is an almost a noticeable line here, so you have to treat it more with shading than you would with you'd have to deal with it more with shading than with lines that give it actual definition. You might give it a little bit of definition down here at the bottom, but then the rest would be up to the shading. So you might bring this shading. Let's see, how would I do this? Might bring this shading up a little bit here, and then
What?
here again, like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't really like how that looks.
I have 3,000 fame, minus fame.
Do 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 do.
You know how
Um, I like Dan's art. Kind of an awkward streamer, though. Yeah, he doesn't. He'll figure it out. How about a mic brush pack for Photoshop? No, I don't do that. I'm barely play on Photoshop. I don't like working on the Wacom tablet. That looks more like a scar than a cleft chin. Oh, sorry. Here. No. YouTube. Yeah. Hi. Oh, I mean, I'm on Twitch too. No, I'm doing How to Draw Comics Like a Pro workshop. She's so nosy. I can draw the basic shapes of the figure, but always get lost as to when to draw the different landmarks and muscles.
What?
Well, that would probably be a whole show in and of itself, guys. 56 minutes. So, yeah, let's get into I don't know, topic. You guys, I don't have to be drawing, I guess, the entire time. Although I could probably draw something else in the last 4 minutes. Do a 2-minute Lone Star to wrap it up. All right. Lone Star. All right, I'll draw. Deselect. Start with the head. Break it down again. So this is sort of a shortcut. If you draw the oblong, see the shape of the head, it's like I've already cut off the sides. I'm already drawing the middle line where the eyes would be, right? Cheeks and whatnot. And then I can just throw shoulders in there. Landmarks. See, I would be drawing... Let's see. Throw in the... This is the rib cage. Throw in the spine. Throw in the hips. Shoulder mass, collarbone.
Silas, can you turn on Minecraft on your computer? Huh?
Foreshortened
Minecraft on
forearm, knife.
You want to play Bedwars? It's been such a long time.
Other shoulder,
Yeah,
other arm
it's called
back.
Hypixel.
Sort of a standard posed characteristic.
Is it like Hypecraft?
Drawing the goggles above the
Something like that.
brow. I give Lone Star sort of a bump on his nose, kind of like it looks like he has a broken nose. Mask, ear protectors. Two-minute Lone Star. Edwin, why you gotta get me to do this stuff?
Remember my skin? Since you and Isaac had bloody skins, I
Alright. I don't know if I could do this in 2 minutes. And for those who don't know, I do my own book. It's called Lone Star, Soul of the Soldier. It is on Indiegogo now. The link is in the description, as are links to some other comic projects you might be interested in if you are new to the channel. And if you are, please do like and subscribe. And leave comments and criticisms and suggestions for future episodes of How to Draw Comics Like a Pro workshop. I am, for those who don't know, Mike S. Miller. I am a 27-year veteran of the comic book industry, most known for my Injustice series at DC Comics and the Game of Thrones books. I have been working at Marvel, DC, etc. For most of my career and Image and Wildstorm. I was a Wildstormer dude. And now I am off on my own, creating my own characters, creating my own universe, the first of which is this fellow right here, Lone Star. Sort of a Captain America meets Blade character. And this will not be the most elegant drawing of Lone Star, but I'm being challenged to do this in a very limited amount of time. And therefore, if you want to see a better look, go hit that link in the description. Check it out. After you've subscribed, of course. And again, yes, suggestions for next show or for upcoming shows. I do want to do this more regularly than not. And hopefully grow this fan base and bring in some of my older fans who've been reading my books for a quarter of a century now, 'cause, you know, it's been a long time. Alright, there you go. More or less Lone Star in whatever time I had left. Wait, how much time do I have left? Hey, we're over an hour now. Well, thanks for everybody for being here. Lone Star comic.com for the comics. Like, share, subscribe. And thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And I hope to see you on the next episode of How to Draw Comics Like a Pro Workshop.